All right, we are live. Welcome everyone. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, I'm AI Manick, your warm-up act while the real Manick finishes powering up for today's session. Welcome to the 12 Days of Search Atlas Live series, our end-of-year tradition where we open the curtain and show you what we've really been building here behind the scenes the past year. We'll get started in a few minutes, but this is the perfect window to settle in because the next hour is going to move fast. Over the past months, the Search Atlas team has been working through late nights shipping update after update across Auto, Content Genius, LLM visibility, PPC workflows, and a few things we haven't talked about publicly yet, but are super excited to share with you all throughout the next 12 days. Today, you're getting the first look at all of it. You'll see how the new systems work, why we built them, and how they change your day-to-day, whether you're running an agency, managing a brand, or trying to scale your own site without losing your weekends. And trust me, some of these are going to blow your mind and change the industry for the better. While you're here and waiting for us to start, if you've got any burning questions you want the real Manick to answer, get your questions ready now. Feel free to drop them in the chat anytime. Strategy questions, product questions, technical questions, whatever you want clarity on. I'll collect everything so once the real Manick is live, he can answer all of them for you head on. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to the crew. We are so happy to welcome you into this kick-ass community of humans. If you've been here across challenges, sprints, and launches, you already know these live sessions tend to snowball into a lot more than simple demos. So grab a snack or a little drink, switch to full screen, and buckle up for the ride that you're about to go on. Keep in mind that we're doing this for the next 12 days, so don't forget to join us every day because there's a lot you won't want to miss. The stream is about to start, the announcements are loaded, and today's lineup is strong. Stay here. Your countdown begins now.
Ho, 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 and merry 12 Days of Search Atlas. Welcome, guys. I am so glad to have you here. How are we doing? Guys, would love to know where you're calling in from, where you're tuning in from. Just pop in the chat where you're at today. Really glad to have you guys here for a really epic day one. And I'm so pumped to show you guys the first thing we want to give you today for the 12 Days of Search Atlas. As you know, it's going to be a very festive 12 days, and we've got some real sizzle. We're going to bring the heat today. So welcome once again. As you guys know, this is the second year that we've done this. Last year, we tried something different. Instead of one big launch, we just made it a journey, 12 days of a journey, day by day, reveal by reveal, and you guys showed up for it. So this year, the Search Atlas team and I, we've been pushing really hard for the last 6 months, 240 people pulling lots of late nights, weekends, collectively actually hundreds of all-nighters. And for the next 12 days, we're gonna pull back the curtain on what we've been building and give it to you. This wasn't about bolting on new features into the platform. It was about reimagining how marketing actually gets done from the ground up, from dashboards to systems, from manual work and manual actions to continuous execution. So whether you've been with Search Atlas for years or you're brand new to the platform, guess what, my friend? You are early. Let's begin on the first day of Christmas. What do we have for you guys? What did we build for you guys? Drum roll, please. that I'm telling you guys about. So let me kind of unpack like what we did here and why we think that this is so significant. Most SEO and PPC tools today, they're dashboards actually, they're reports. They give you data, they give you charts, tables, they show you problems, and then they stop, okay? 7 years ago, I decided that wasn't gonna be good enough. I wanted to build something different, an execution-driven platform that doesn't just surface issues, but fixes them, improves performance, and handles complex work correctly at scale. That journey is what led us here. For years, SEO and PPC teams have been following the same manual workflow. You run a report, looking at keywords, maybe backlinks, you interpret it, then a strategist will create tasks for the team, they then get assigned out, and then you wait. And then you cross your fingers and then you check again, you hope the team did it right. And as teams grow, top strategists delegate execution to junior team members, and they slowly become removed from the actual implementation of their ideas. Okay? That's happened to me for years. I don't go into WordPress anymore and make changes. I have a team that does that. And what happens is the strategy and the execution, they drift apart. Momentum will slow, and results can actually be harder to come by. And in my AI SEO course, which is launching this week, yes, this week, we will go all the way back to first principles to break down information retrieval and indexation and ranking systems and LLM visibility and how it works for Google versus Bing versus Chat. We study over 150 patents with 13 original white papers that were written by me and our data science team. SEO and PPC guys are by definition systems problems, and systems problems do not need more dashboards. They need execution engines. So we asked a different question. What would it look like if the system could execute on its own? How effective could it be? How good could the strategy and the execution become if we kept optimizing and improving on it? Well, over the last 6 months, we'll show you what we were able to do. And today on day one, we're just not launching a new feature, we're introducing a new operating system for digital marketing. This is Search Atlas Brain. It is a coordination layer for everything that drives growth, a holistic AI marketing platform that understands your website, your first-party data. It uses our Search Atlas index of keywords and backlinks and traffic data. It understands your competition. It understands the SERPs. It understands your business goals. It also knows the actions that actually move the needle because it's been trained on and informed by our decade of agency expertise at LinkGraph with over 5,000 case studies, real best practices, and the knowledge to fix and improve sites, create and publish content, build, launch, and optimize ads, and continuously refine performance. And then it executes, not suggestions, not alerts, execution. Inside the brain are specialized agents. Each one has been trained to do one thing and only one thing exceptionally well. On-page optimization, content strategy and generation, web page creation, local and GBP optimization, authority and link building, reporting for clients, keyword and traffic research, paid search. In this equation, humans still matter. We need your expertise, your judgment, and your standards for the work. And that's why we built Playbooks. Playbooks allow you to encode how your agency works and operates, how your niche behaves, what good actually looks like. And if you don't know what to be in the playbook, we'll give you playbooks developed by me and my team that you can use. So you can solve something once, the brain applies it everywhere. This is how expertise can scale. To make this real, we also redesigned the in-app experience around what actually matters, which are your projects and continuous execution. Today, we are also launching a fully redesigned agent and project hub on the home screen. No more jumping between tools in the platform, no more fragmented workflows. Everything is integrated to give you clear momentum, easy re-entry, and you always know where to pick it back up when you come back into the platform. And the reason this matters is it changes the unit of leverage. One person no longer manages tasks, they manage systems. Agencies no longer have to scale headcount, they can scale execution with AI. Results can happen way faster and compound. We were always meant to get here, continuous campaign execution at the speed of AI. And as you guys can tell, we did not decide to start small on day one. We decided to go huge. This is Search Atlas Brain. And now let me show it to you. So Search Atlas Brain here lives in the center of the diagram, and all of its capabilities are outside. So it gives us the ability to run content strategy, figure out what our content strategy, our plan should be for our website, AI generate blogs and landing pages. It can also optimize the on-page technical SEO using auto of a website. And I'll show you guys the actual workflows for all of this. Arman's going to be joining us in just a second. It can also generate sites. It can create PPC ads, launch them, optimize them. It can run local campaigns, building citations, optimizing the Google business profile, building heat maps. It can run outreach campaigns with prospecting, for link building, for clients. It also does authority. So it can also do authority building and also research. So a lot of capabilities in this platform. Arman, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, Manick? What's up, squad? Super excited to be here. I literally cannot wait. Like, I'm teaming at the bit here to let you guys not only see it, but use the agents, use the new workflows. Like, this is literally going to be a game changer. I know that word gets thrown around a lot, but this is not a casual deployment of the word game changer, guys. This is like legit.
Legit. I mean, look, if Arman says it's legit, Arman, you remember when you and I, we talked about building this and you were skeptical, right?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Why
like,
are
I
you
think,
skeptical?
I think generally there is a high degree of skepticism when it comes to this type of project or toolkit, because SEO is nothing if not complicated and multifaceted. And my thought was, there's no way we could build an agentic experience that does all of this, because I didn't see the power of agents existing in a vacuum. The reason I think this works so well is because over the last, 8 years, we've built brick by brick the foundational pieces of the system that allow the agents to come in there and then orchestrate multi-step, complicated tasks, right? So without having the backbone of all of the individual pieces that represent the Search Atlas platform, the agents wouldn't be able to execute what we're executing right now.
Yeah, that's totally fair. So this isn't just agents executing themselves on their own. This is agents using what's in Search Atlas to automate the execution using the business logic, the best practices that have been baked in to the way the platform works. And also in some ways providing a QA layer over the implementation, over the suggestions, which has been really cool. You and I were looking at that yesterday, where we actually saw something that a team member had put into the account and the agent caught it, fixed it before it got deployed. So yeah. But I think it's good for people to see that, Arman, that you were skeptical initially, because I think a lot of people are skeptical. They're probably looking at this and saying, like, I got to see this to believe it. I bet it doesn't work, or maybe it's just a tchotchke. But today, let's prove them wrong. Let's set the bar high.
Sounds good, man. Cool. So, Monica, is my main screen being presented right now?
Yep, I can see the home screen. You're in classic mode right now.
Beautiful. Amazing. Guys, so if you've been using Search Atlas before, this home screen probably looks very familiar to you. This is the old home screen. You should now see a toggle here at the top left of the screen that's called the Agent Hub. If you click on the Agent Hub, it should open up a new experience and essentially present to you the new homepage of Search Atlas, which is agent first. So every time you log in now, you're going to see this lead with an action mentality, right? Because Search Atlas at its core is not a reporting system, guys. Search Atlas is and always has been a action-oriented platform. So we want people to come in here and start solving problems immediately from the homepage, as opposed to just accessing reports from the homepage. That being said, you do have the ability right here to actually go in and click into your portfolio summary and view the performance of your site. So if you are still just looking at reports, your portfolio summary gives you quick action to go in there and click into projects. But as you scroll further down, you'll actually see really comprehensive tiles of all of your projects to let you know your things like your auto score, your 4-pillar grades, your traffic, any local strategies you're running, and the structure and performance of your ad campaigns. So this new reimagined home screen is really designed to let you dive into the action that Search Atlas provides as quickly as possible and give you seamless buttons and workflows to kind of click into to access various projects or various sections of the platform. Cool. So what I really want to focus on for the first half of this is to show you the new way to use auto SEO in an agentic experience, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to click into a little test site that we have here. So this is a domain that we've recently spun up that we're going to be using really as a site that we want to build, that we want to grow, that we want to use Search Atlas end to end to bring the site from just a landing page to a powerhouse in the SEO space. So we're going to be using this site here. Now,
Brand spanking new.
I'm going to open up brand spanking new site. And actually, let me just open it up so you guys can take a look at what it looks like. So this is going to be the website that we're working on. It's a really clean design. Shout out Erin McGinnis. She's our creative director and has a fantastic eye for design and user experience. So this is the website that we're going to be working with, guys. Before I get to this stage, I've already set up an auto project. I've completed my knowledge graph. I've connected first-party data, and I've engaged auto. So now that auto is properly engaged, I can actually leverage the agent to work within it. So if you're looking at my screen, this is what you're accustomed to doing, going into a section like on-page optimizations, going into title tags, unfurling it, looking at all of your title tags, seeing the original, looking at what auto suggests, and either regenerating, manually editing, and deploying. Guys, you can take that workflow and you could take it to the back and you can shoot it and bury it and forget it ever existed. Because all you're going to need to do right now is click Auto AI, right? So we're going to go back home. We have our project window here. We're going to select our project, which is going to be Recovery Path Marketing. And before I run a super comprehensive playbook, like fix my technical issues, I'm going to start off with just the most basic prompt. I'm going to say, auto, show me title tag opportunities. Right? So I literally just initiated a chat. I selected my project and I have my auto brain agent selected. Every step, every chat interaction will show you the agent's thought process. It'll essentially expose to you how it's taking your natural kind of prompt and translating it into a work order. And once the thinking's complete, I'm going to enter full screen mode. We'll show you the full thought process that happened, and then we'll show you the exact output and present it in a really clean way. So it's showing me a little table here of the 6 pages on this website, showing me the homepage, what the current title is, and what the new recommended title is, as well as the status of, is this ready to be deployed or does it need to be regenerated? Same thing here for the services, showing me the current title tag, showing me the new title tag, and the status saying that it's ready to deploy. So this is presenting to me my key areas of improvements, and it's letting me know exactly what is ready to deploy before I actually make that change. Now, what I can always do here is I can ask the agent, I can say, evaluate the quality of these title tag suggestions and present new ones if the old ones aren't great. So the good thing about this agent is that you do not need to be a prompt engineer to work with this. Obviously, the better the prompts are, the more structured these prompts are, the better outputs you're going to get after that first interaction with the agent. But the way we've built this system is to allow it to ingest even basic, simple, or partially submitted examples or suggestions and actually break that down and orchestrate it into a formal task. So after this first generation happened, I asked the agent essentially to quality check itself. And it's actually going in here and letting me know what it's doing, what the current changes are, why it wants to make these changes. And then it presents those to me as new suggestions, right? So now we actually have our new suggestions listed right here. And it also lets us know what it changed from the previous generation. Now I'm going to exit full screen mode. I'm going to scroll down here a tiny bit. And you're actually going to see that it's come in here and it's made those changes directly on the left-hand side. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tell it, proceed with pushing these new title tags to the pages.
Arman, you could also show them the dictation mode.
Absolutely. Yeah, guys. So if you don't feel like typing, we do have a dictate feature. So when this initial chat is done, I'll go ahead and use the dictation for the next step here.
Who likes typing? I hate typing. I rarely type anymore.
Absolutely. Okay.
Great. I've successfully updated 4 of the title tag recommendations. Now let me deploy all 6 to your website.
Yep.
Cool. Now this
And
site's
what's
not
really
huge.
great about this as well, it's not at all. It's really not at all. It's a very small site. It's only 6 pages. Beautiful. So now we're just going to do a quick refresh, make sure everything caught up. I just want to make sure that all the deployments went through as the agent did its thing. Just let me go back in here. Okay. And while this is loading, just one point I want to make, guys, like Auto out of the box has its own AI model in there that's going in there to say, what's wrong with this page? What could a better title tag be? How can we improve the click-through rates? How can we improve the performance? So that out of the box AI, if you will, already exists inside of Auto. So now I want you to think about the agent, like Atlas Brain, as an additional layer that's coming in there and challenging the first Auto, right? And saying like, hey, you suggested these title tags and I like some of them, but here's what I think we could do better, right? So you essentially have an agent that's acting as a strategist, a quality assurance layer, but more importantly, a fulfillment orchestrator so that the system can actually communicate with itself to get the end result out of the actual platform.
Mm-hmm. And also what's cool about this is that it keeps the context. So as you keep working with it and you bring in more information into it about your preferences and which pages or how you want it to do what it's doing, it's going to apply that to all of its chats. So you get to kind of build with it and it becomes smarter. Also, it's using, so Arman, what's the big difference between using Search Atlas Brain versus ChatGPT?
So, that's a great question. Like ChatGPT, for all intents and purposes, when it comes to like SEO, whether it's content or technical SEO, it doesn't have the full context window about your first party data. So it's not connected to Search Console. It's not connected to Google Business Profile. It's not connected to GA4, but it's also not trained on nuanced SEO practices around like usage of NLP entities, heading structures, organizing technical SEO considerations, right? Like ChatGPT is really good at producing content and following complicated instructions, but it's not an SEO first AI system. It is a, knowledge retrieval system that takes complicated and esoteric topics and makes them accessible to the user, but it is not an SEO brain, right? That's why Search Atlas has that
true benefit is because of the back. It doesn't have any of your data inside it. It doesn't have your GSC, your GA4, your site audit information, your project data inside the Search Atlas platform. So the beauty is that when you're using Search Atlas Brain, it could be to send a client email. It could be to generate a report for the work that you've done. It could be for a lot of things. It has all the context that's inside your Search Atlas account, and it can pull in real-time SEO data, keyword data, traffic data. You can run comparative reports. You can compare your content to your competitor's content and find a content gap. There's really kind of no limitation to what it can do because it's really an intelligence layer built around all of your data. Yeah.
That's exactly right. Yeah. And what we're seeing here, guys, is all of those title tags have not just been generated, but they've physically been deployed to the website. So it's not like it just put the task in there. It did the task, allowed me to approve it, and then also deployed those changes, right? So that is really what we're talking about here. So we can actually go in here and now we can look at a playbook. So I'm still in recovery path marketing. I'm still using the auto brain. And just to note that there are specialized agents, right? So think about Atlas Brain as your general purpose agent that allows you to query it for like, hey, I need this report, I need this audit, I want to run or onboard a new account. Whereas when you're doing specific tasks or specific playbooks or specific workflows, well, there's a specific agent for that, right? There's an on-page agent, there's a Google Ads agent, there's a local agent. All of these agents, for example, let's click into auto. All of these agents have their own playbooks, and we can see those playbooks directly in here. We can click into any one of these playbooks, for example, Fast Authority Boost, and we can see what are the instructions, what is this playbook actually going to do, and how much involvement from me as the user is required to execute this playbook. And if you're a more advanced user and you don't want to use, let's say, the out-of-the-box playbook experience, well, you can always create your own playbooks, right? And you can build end-to-end custom workflows that the AI agents can orchestrate on your behalf. So if you're absolutely new to SEO or new to Search Atlas generally, you can use our playbooks because our team has built these, right? Each playbook. We've executed these 100, 1,000, 10,000 times over, and now we've built them for you in this agentic experience. But you can always come in there and build your own playbook and execute it end-to-end from the system.
Nice. The playbooks are really pretty cool because once you sort of define what control points you want, like where in the process do you want it to ask you before it makes a decision on your behalf, that you get to put into the playbook. So think of it as like an SOP for those of you guys who are agencies who are tuning in. Maybe you have SOPs for how you want your writers to write content. Well, give that as context in your playbook, and it will follow that. You can also tell it whether you want it to just publish to your site automatically, whether you want it to publish, let's say, once every day or once every other day, whatever you want, you can just put that into the playbook as semantic context, and the agent is smart enough to follow your instructions. Now, just remember, this agent is in beta. We're launching a lot of technology today, and so just keep in mind if the agent for example, if it times out, just tell it to continue. If you see issues, feel free to report them to support. But we've been able to use these agents already to execute our campaigns on the link graph side. Arman is showing you how we're doing it, obviously, for recovery path marketing, but we're now able to use it to scale the execution, the work side of optimizing websites in a way faster manner. What used to take us a full day of clicking in the platform and having to know how to use the Content Genius and set up content folders or how to use the authority building suite. Now you're just running playbooks and you're just chatting with the agent and telling it what you want. So it's a completely different experience and you can go way faster. You can also open up multiple agentic windows side by side and have one agent working on authority building while another agent's doing your local optimization, while another one's fixing the site. So you can make these agents work together and do different things at the same time.
Yeah, that's a great point, Manick, in the sense that you can have multiple agents running multiple tasks across multiple projects concurrently. So one of the big things that we get asked all the time is like, hey, can you guys implement Search Atlas for us? Like, we love what you're doing. We love your platform. But there's a steep learning curve, right? There's so many different workflows. There's so many different tools. There's so many different ways I can use this system. I just want to know, what is the most efficient way? What is the right way? How should I use this? And in the case that you don't have a team or you don't have a large team, that's where we get a lot of interest in our implementation services as an offering. But with this introduction of agents, guys, like, we are seeing single agency owners being able to manage over 200 websites by themselves and not have to build an army of worker bees to execute everything that they want. And we fully expect this to really change the way agencies operate at scale, because it provides enough systems and guardrails and QA at every step of the way so that you can use AI with confidence and not just, give it complete freedom to do everything with no oversight.
Great point. Arman, do you want to show them a different workflow in the agent?
Yeah. So let's actually look at what I just did here. So I came into recovery path marketing and I ran a on-page playbook, which is a comprehensive technical audit and a fix for the priority items missing with the site. So this first command here is the out-of-the-box playbook that was run. We then see the entire thought process of what this agent is actually going to be doing. It then built an action plan, and as it went through each one of these bullet points, it indicated green check marks to show us where and when it completed each task. Once the task was done, it actually gives us this artifact right here, which is effectively everything that it just kind of came up with, right? So it's looking at the current health status, it's auditing the 4 pillars. Again, this is a brand new site, guys, with only 6 pages. So we fully expect everything to be poor, right? There's no backlinks to the site, there's very little content. So there's a lot of room for improvement, which is why we wanted to kind of pick this site. But it goes through and builds us this entire research document to show us everything that it found, from title tags to alt image text to internal linking structures. And it's giving us, the strategic recommendations as well as the impact of what we're actually going to get when we deploy these changes. So we're doing things with purpose and intention, as opposed to just clicking buttons or, making changes without knowing the consequences of what we're doing. Right? So this plan, every time you see a plan, you can always kind of pause the agent and work with it in a vibe coding capacity or a vibe SEO capacity to iterate and tweak what you want before you get to that final output, right?
Yeah.
So boom, it's just given us this whole entire thing. It's given us all these priorities, and it's given us a clear, immediate action plan that's calculated in the sum of minutes, not days, not weeks, not even, hours, really. It's
right.
Minutes to execute all of this stuff, right?
This used to take us, like, we would create stuff on ClickUp for our web development team to execute these changes on sites. And you'd have to give them 3, 4, 5 days, sometimes a week to make these fixes. You're talking about minutes here. And I think even 45 minutes is an overestimate. It's really going to take probably more like 3 to 5 minutes. So we'd like to be conservative and assume that maybe some users will really want to go in and customize and modify, but you can really execute from end to end in here way faster. Within 5 minutes, if you just like its suggestions and say continue, it will roll them through within just a couple minutes.
Exactly. And what's really cool about this is, it gave us a multi-phased approach. And before I actually start something, it's saying, hey, we need your approval here. What would you like me to proceed with? Do you just want to do phase 1? It's going to take about 45 minutes. Do you want me to run this full optimization end to end? Do you want me to give you samples before I do anything and actually deploy it? Or would you like to guide me on a custom approach and let me know what you think is the most important thing for me to work on, right? So again, we're giving you that sense of, I just want to go. I don't want to think about this. I want the problem solved. Well, go with option 2 then. Run the full optimization and move on with your life, right? Or I'm really cautious and I want to know everything before it's deployed. Cool. Start with examples. Let me see it. And once I approve it, then deploy it. Or I don't like this workflow. I think my approach is going to be better. Run my custom steps instead of what you've presented, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then boom, the system goes and does the whole entire thing for us.
So it's a choose your own adventure, depending on whether you want a lot of control or whether you're okay with giving away more autonomy and letting it do the work for you. So you can decide where you want to be. And I think this was one of the big challenges with auto initially, was figuring out how automated do we want to make it? Like, for the people who really want to go in and review every little thing, component by component, we try to optimize for control, and the agent lets us get back some of our time. So what I recommend is, go through in the beginning and review its recommendations and see what it's doing. And then eventually, as you get more confident in its setup and what it wants to execute for you, then you can decide when you want to let it go and make those changes on your behalf with less oversight. But as with anything, these systems are just going to keep getting better and better as we get more feedback from you guys, as we keep refining this. But you can already see we've spent 6 months of time refining the behavior of these agents and explaining to them how to execute these complex tasks, and where we want the human in the loop and where we don't want the human in the loop. And it's also multimodal. So it's not just auto and on page, as it's also local SEO, and it's authority building, and all these other dimensions, which we're going to start showing you guys little by little over the next 7 days, or 12 days, really.
Yeah. And just like that, guys, I know the system said phase 1 would take 45 minutes. It took less than 4 minutes, and it deployed everything in phase 1. And now it's ready for us to move on to the next step, right? So I'm going to exit out of this full screen.
Nice.
And let me just go ahead and refresh here so everything catches up. And now let's unfurl this. And look at that. We can see titles. We did that first, but now all of our meta descriptions are done. All of our heading lengths have been optimized for the ones that had critical issues, that were very under structured. And we can see headings length, meta keywords, all of the things that the agent said it was going to do. It not only optimized, but it actually physically deployed all of those changes for us.
Solid.
Cool. Yeah.
And I'm curious, for the viewers that are tuning in, guys, based on what we've showed you in Search Atlas Brain, what feature are you guys the most excited to use? Pop that in the chat. Let us know. How do you want to use this? And also, I'm going to drop a Q&A poll in the chat for any questions you guys want to ask.
Awesome. Cool. So while we're waiting for some responses on that poll, let's go ahead and drum up a press release for this business, right? So we can see in here that I don't actually have a press release for Recovery Path Marketing. I just have some for my personal site. I have some for Search Atlas and Signal Genesis, but I don't have one for Recovery Path Marketing. So I'm going to go ahead and execute that. I'm going to start by clicking into my project, which is Recovery Path Marketing. I'm going to switch over to the authority brain over here. And I can either choose to run a full playbook, right? There's a ton of playbooks here that we can use for authority building purposes. Or I can go with a simple request. Create a press release about my brand.
I just got just one chat. I said, which one are you guys most excited about? And J Dubs says, all of them. He wants to use all the features. I love it.
Absolutely. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, everything else is just going to stack on top of this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just wait till you guys see. Cool. Arman, literally everything we just showed you was the on-page auto. Now we're going to show you guys authority and how you can build press releases. You can build citations. You can get published on over 50,000 publishers on the internet. You can build cloud stacks. You can do lots of different link building in here to also boost the authority of your brands and yourself.
Exactly. So with the simple command, right, I said, I just want to create a press release about my brand. It knows what it needs to do. There's some dependencies, like when building a press release, do we have a project? Do we have a knowledge graph? Is that knowledge graph filled in? So it spot checked all of those items. And it says, okay, cool, there is a project. All the details are there. All I really need to know is what page do you want to promote and what should the press release be about? And it's also giving us proven press release formats that we know trigger AI search visibility and improve organic and local search as well, right? So it's also factoring in a lot of the work that we've been doing around trophy content and discoverability of brands on AI search. So now instead of me typing what I wanted to do, I'm just going to use the dictate feature. Let me just allow the dictate.
I love the dictate feature.
I want to,
it's so useful.
I want to target my homepage. I want the press release to focus on, let's see, my technical solutions. And I want the main topic to be the first one you suggested, which is recovery path marketing named top digital agency for rehab centers in North America. Perfect. So I got my whole context there.
Nice.
I'm going to send that into the system.
Oh, that's smooth. Real smooth. I hope you guys caught that dictation feature.
Like, we are literally at the stage, guys, where we can now speak strategy into existence. Like, I hope you realize how powerful that is.
Yeah. What used to be, hey, let's do a meeting and let's just discuss the strategy and plan out where we want to go. Now in that meeting, as we discuss strategy, we execute. We don't just wait. We bring our ideas into the agent, we have it build plans, and then we review them, and then we execute them. Allows us to go so much faster. I'm going to take one of the questions. This is a good one. So Chroma asks, do you have AI analysis and provide suggestions in case we're missing something that was important? So kind of like, is there some way to analyze the site and tell them what they need to do? I think we actually saw an example of that where we ran an audit on recovery path marketing, the holistic assessment, which scored it on the 4 key pillars of search: authority, content, technicals, and user and behavior signals.
Correct.
So we
and that's one of the beautiful things about this. Like, there's the planning mode, there's like the execution mode, right? So you can use the agents not only as a fulfillment layer, but also as a soundboard to bounce ideas off of, to uncover strategy, to uncover gaps in your marketing plan or even in your technical SEO. So just really quickly, what the agent's saying here is there are a few fields missing from our knowledge graph. So I'm just coming in here and giving it additional context so it can proceed.
Okay. That makes sense. We just set this up so it doesn't have a phone number, email, business address. And for a press release, we need all that.
Exactly.
I tell you what, I way prefer to put it into this chat than to put it into a UI. Nice. You gonna put John Fish on there?
Yeah.
Looks good.
He got his face on here anyway. So.
Shout out to John Fish. The KC Starks. Do y'all ever sleep? Some of us more than others. No, actually, yeah, it's been crazy the last 6 months. But it's been a chapter of like reinvention and imagination and vision. And, what I would say is Arman and I, let's not take all the credit for this. This is really the brainchild of a lot of people. A lot of people put their hands on this. So major shout out to the engineering team. Over 90 people now work on the Search Atlas engineering team pushing this technology forward. So thank you guys so much for all your hard work in the last 6 months leading up to this moment, and especially in the last month. And of course, the marketing team and the design team and the product team that are figuring out how do these experiences work. This has never been really done before. So we had to imagine what this will look like from the ground up in a way that is authentic and native to our platform. So that was really hard. And we also wanted it to be easy. My 3 key fundamental points around agents are that they have to be capable, be able to do a lot of useful things that ChatGPT can't do, things that are special and unique. The second thing is that they have to be simple. What's easier than a prompt box where you can just put your information in and engage with the agent in this chat-driven system? So they have to be simple and easy to use. And then the last one is creative, non-trivial, some sort of a unique experience that can be brought in for our industry specifically. And you guys can be the judge of it. I think our team, we did a great job with it. Still, there's a lot of work that we'll be doing to refine it and add more capabilities to it and keep leveling it up. But already, I think you guys will find a significant amount of benefit from using it. We're already seeing a lot of usage on it just internally amongst our team. And now today, as we launch it, we'll be tracking how you guys are using it. And I'm really excited to see the feedback you guys are going to give us.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and let me just do a quick refresh here. So we can literally see here that press release just got created.
Nice.
And let me just go in here. So boom, this is the press release. And we get to this step here where it's showing us that it created the press release. Oh, I'm in a different chat. 1 second.
You have to be on the right agent brain. So if you're on authority brain, you're going to filter and see only Playbooks activity by the authority brain. Well, Playbooks, I think, will be all of them, depending on what you selected, but the activity will be filtered to the brain you're on.
Perfect. Okay. There we go. So it's showing us here that it had some gaps in the knowledge graph, right? So I went in there and I just supplied that context into the output. It then creates the knowledge graph and it triggers the press release to be created. And we see it right here. Now it's letting me know that it's not published yet because I need to pick my distribution channels. It's looking at the amount of hyperdrive credits I have in my system. And it's saying, based off your hyperdrive credits, these are the things that I'd recommend. Starter package, and it's going to cost 110 credits. Premium package, 210. Maximum impact package, 310. So obviously, we're going to go for maximum impact.
Max impact, baby. And by the way, just from the chat, Casey Stark, he's saying he got great results from using the PR and Cloud Stacks in the last challenge. Love to hear that. Casey, tell us more about your experience and tell us the kind of results you were able to get, how it impacted your business. I'd love to see more about that. And Chroma asks, will this have best practices to help us increase domain power, providing more suggestions to increase the domain power over time? Absolutely. Actually, I would love for you to ask the agent, hey, I want to increase my domain power for my website. What do I need to do? And the agent will walk you through it, a combination of content and authority building with backlinks. So it can definitely respond to those questions. One of the things we'll also be adding in is a knowledge base, which is basically taking all of my teachings and trainings that I've done with Arman, as well as parts of our course and the challenges. And if you have SEO questions about why a website's not performing or about a strategy, you'll even be able to ask those types of questions, not just execution, but also knowledge-related questions or reporting-related questions. And the agent will be able to help you with all of that.
Exactly.
Casey says it's almost too easy. It's getting there. It's getting there.
It's getting there. Yep.
Cool, Arman. So what are we looking at?
So we're just looking at what the agent's doing here for the maximum impact option. So it's saying, okay, the user chose maximum impact. Great. That's going to cost 310 hyperdrive credits.
The agent's off screen. We'd only see about half of it. I don't know how your share screen's going, but it's getting clipped.
Is that better?
Yeah, much better.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. So we said maximum impact, and it's showing us the thought process. It's like, hey, great choice. It's going to use 310 hyperdrive credits. And it's showing us here which channels it's going to select and the cost per channel. It's also going to go in here and look at the generation, right? Because obviously it can't submit a press release until the press release has been generated and we've had a chance to kind of take a look at it. So now it's just going through the process of creating that content and letting us know where it is in the actual order of operations that the system's doing. So what's really good about these workflows is that you can do them in parallel, right? So while this one's going and working, we could go and initiate another chat or at a different section of the platform and go and work on, for example, the local, the GBP profile, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's just wait for this thing to generate here. Cool. And you know what? While we're doing that, I'm going to open up a new tab and we'll go ahead and look at the local SEO as well. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to go to my local section and we'll see that I have 2 sites in here, 2 GBP locations. So I'm going to click into this one. And now I can see that there are optimization opportunities, right? The business description could be better. The services could be better. The attributes could be better. There's a lot of things that could be improved in this profile, but I don't necessarily want to go through each one of these recommendations and do all of that stuff myself. So I can come in here and I can switch over to local brain and I can say, show me fixes, or let's do show me optimizations for clowns for kids GBP.
Cool. And while you pull that up, I want to share what Casey Stark's saying. So he launched a new website in a new geo-targeted area. Within 45 days, he went from 0 to top 3 in Google search. Amazing. Let's get a air horn on that. And Casey's saying also bonus is that Chat is now citing his brand as a source, which is huge. So congrats, man. Great on you for following the instructions. It's really not hard. Like, we make it as simple as we can. If you just follow the instructions in the challenge, you will get those kinds of results. And now with the new agent and Search Atlas brand, it's going to be so much easier. So just follow, literally just follow the instructions that Arman and I show you, and you guys can get results like that.
Absolutely. So let's take a look at this, guys. I submitted a simple request. Show me optimizations for Clowns for Kids Google Business Profile. The agent thought about my request. It validated that the project's in my account. It showed me the completion. So we're already at 61.9, but there's obviously, we want to be as close to 100 as possible. And then it shows us immediately high impact items that we can apply immediately. And it lists those out for us. And then it also shows us completion tasks just to go ahead and improve that. It then gives us next steps. Option 1, quick service boost. Option 2, custom selection. Option 3, complete profile. Now, before I do anything, I want to ask it, if I go with option 1, will it trigger a verification of my account by Google, or am I safe to make these changes? So let's see. The user is asking about verification risks. This is a sensitive field change. What's critical? And it's saying, as long as none of these fields have changed, business name, physical address, phone numbers, services are not a sensitive field. Correct. Attributes are not a sensitive field either. So just like that, it's showing us these are safe changes, no verification risks. These are the high risk changes. Your status, I'm already verified. Services are good. Why services are safe. So it's giving me a really high confidence interval that I can do this change without impacting the status of my profile. And that level of just like having a strategist over your shoulder, having someone that understands the space, giving you that extra set of guidance to let you know that what you're doing is correct or that there's no risk, I mean, I think that's going to help everyone just feel more confident in the strategies and services that they're offering, or even the work that they're doing on their own brands.
Definitely. And we really wanted to also make sure that any workflows that people were doing on the GBP wouldn't just make the GBP go back into a re-verification status. So we gave very specific instructions to the agent about what fields were high-risk fields and which ones were safe to modify. So it's not going to go and change your business title or your phone number or whatever without really asking you for verification. So it's safe to use and work with. That way we can actually get a lot of fixes done to the GBP without taking a lot of risk to the Google Business Profile going into a verification status. Now, if it's suggesting making fixes to those fields, I would read its recommendations. Why is it suggesting those changes? There might be something that you're missing that you didn't do properly originally and that you need to do. So, but either way, it's a safe system that's designed with some kind of training wheels on it so that it doesn't cause, that it has a positive impact and makes it easier for newer users to have success with the platform.
Exactly. And we can see here, perfect. I'll add your 8 services. Okay, all 8 services added. Nice. I just refreshed the screen and now I literally see all 8 of those services added and deployed, right? And I swear to God, guys, there is not a call center in India behind the scenes doing this work on the background. This is done 100% through agentic experiences, okay?
Yeah. There's no little mouse behind the scenes keying in those changes as we go. It's all agentic.
Exactly. Awesome. Okay, and we can use the same brain, guys, to respond to our reviews, to combat negative reviews, to schedule posts, to do literally everything that we were doing by hand with the GBP Galactic tool. The agent can now do on our behalf. So it's not just about profile optimizations. It is all of the capabilities that you yourself could do by hand, the agent can now do on your behalf.
Yep. Pretty sweet.
Beautiful.
We got anything more we need to do on Clowns for Kids on the local side?
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of stuff, right? Like we could go through and add the attributes. We could go through and respond to the reviews. So let's go ahead and just delegate those tasks. Great. Proceed with
Casey says, Auto is like a QRF SEAL team. What does QRF mean? Like Navy SEAL team? Or are we talking like SEALs in San Diego? I'm not sure. I'm not sure where he's going. I think I know where he's going. Okay.
Perfect. So just look at this. Right now, there are only 2 attributes in here. It's saying it deployed all of these other attributes, right? So now I'm just going to refresh the screen. Scroll down a tiny bit. And boom, all of those attributes have been propagated.
Nice. Wow.
Right?
Wow. And that's kind of like, to do that, it's annoying if you had to do it by hand, because if you're not familiar with the business, you may have to go and look at their website, research them, recheck your interviews with the client, all that stuff. The idea that we have is we want to bring all this brand information into our vault so that we can answer these questions for you. At the core of Search Atlas Brain is a semantic search engine built around the business. What the hell does that mean? So you got the business in the middle. And what we do is we crawl your website. We crawl the business's site. We index all of its content. We index its homepage, its about us, its services page, its knowledge base, everything. We then go and we find its social media profiles. A lot of times, businesses have more up-to-date information on their socials because it's easier for the business owners to update there. So we realized we wanted to scrape that data as well. And then we also bring in your local GBP data. So now we also know all the data on the business profile. We will also be allowing you to add in PDFs, adding in additional URLs, other sources of data that you want to put into the brand's vault inside Search Atlas so that we know more about the business. This could be your onboarding transcript for the client. This could be a voice transcript from Zoom of your call that you did, either the sales call or the client call, and just add that into the system so that it becomes more and more knowledgeable about your conversation with the customer, about their business. And then it will use that to give better recommendations, to more properly fill in these attributes and even do its audits in a better way. It allows it to say stuff like, hey, according to our call with the customer, they have a service that's not on the website. Let's go build a landing page and publish that to the website. Are you cool if I do that? And then, you get to say yes, or you get to say no, or whatever. That's where we're going with this, guys. That's what we want to do here. So
Absolutely.
Pretty exciting.
Thanks so much for that, Manick. So I'm going to show you guys just a couple other really quick things in here. I asked it, do we have any unanswered reviews we need to address? So I'm going to go to the review section here on the left. I'm going to go to a status of not replied. And now I can see Bernice, 5 stars, 3 months ago. I used them for my daughter's birthday party and right there, Bernice, 5 stars. I used them for my daughter's birthday party and. Now we can see here, guys, that none of these reviews have been responded to. There's not even a reply in here. So let's say, I'm just going to give it 1, right? Because it says, what would you like me to do? Generate AI replies for all 6 reviews? Yes. So I just gave it 1 as my command. And now we should start seeing in here that these modules will start generating without me clicking. Hands off the mouse, right? Hands are right here petting the kitty, right? So I'm not touching it. I'm going to let the system do its thing.
Hands free.
Hands free, baby. And actually, just a quick note while this is loading, because I have my other tab pulled up here as well. I'm just going to click the other tab. And we'll see here that it created my final offer for that press release, outlining everything that it's going to do here. So I'm going to full screen it. This is the channel breakdown. This is the cost breakdown. And then here it's saying before publishing, hey, this is a press release. Look at it, right? Make sure you click the button and view that press release. You guys saw me. I didn't create this press release. The AI created this press release, right? So we can see that it's here, but we can see that it's missing some fields. Like there's no hero image and there's no logo, right? And there's no map embed. So that's one of the reasons it gives us that approval, because sometimes the knowledge graph didn't have a logo file. It didn't have first-party images. So those fields are missing. So it's giving me that ability to view it and edit it and manually tweak whatever I want to tweak before I say, yes, I'm ready to publish this thing, right? So that's the power. It even gives you the link to the thing that you need to approve, so you don't have to leave the chat experience to do your job.
Right. And one thing, a tip from Casey, and Casey, dude, you're totally right. He said he turned on the auto reply last time so that all of his reviews are automatically replied to. Well, Casey, hats off to you. You set it up properly. For the purpose of the demo, Arman and I needed a couple of reviews to respond to, so we disabled it so we could get a couple of things to show you guys. But yes, you really should be using the auto review responder, so you just don't ever have a review that's just sitting there. But, just for the sake of the demo, we wanted to show you guys the full capabilities, but that is the right way to do it.
That's exactly right. And what's great about this, when I reloaded the screen, now I have no reviews that are not replied, because the replies were created and published, right? So let's go look at, what was her name? Bernice. Yeah. So that was the first one, the Bernice. I used them for my daughter's birthday party and they were absolutely amazing. Well, this is what the AI came up with. Thank you, Bernice, right? And now it's put it into a status of replied, but status equals awaiting approval, right? So all of the things that the AI has come up with, because I did not tell it to approve, because I did not tell it to publish it, put it in an approval queue here for me. So that's really what we're talking about here, guys. We can give it conditional actions. We could tell it to do what we want it to do, and we can have it set. Do you want to publish or do you want me to review? I'm going to say, no, just go ahead and proceed with option A.
Cool. You know, Fidan, I think we got to give Casey a prize. He's on fire today. Congrats, buddy. What do we have for him? A swag pack. We're going to send you a swag pack. And if you guys want more prizes, make sure you guys join the AI Search Summit today at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be running a free challenge and taking you guys even deeper into Search Atlas Brain. And this entire week, we'll actually be executing SEO campaigns with a real website that's starting from scratch. So you guys can see exactly how Arman and I do it. It's going to be very focused on practical. So you'll be looking over our shoulder as we do it. And then we'll be sharing the case studies at the end. So if that sounds like a good week for you and you really want to go deep on this and see how we're doing it with Search Atlas Brain, as well as the new toys we're going to be releasing tomorrow and for the next 12 days, make sure you tune in.
Exactly. And I'm just going to pull up that landing page, which starts in, Jesus Christ, 52 minutes. Is that right?
52 minutes.
So,
yep.
Yeah, starts pretty quickly here.
Yeah. So Arman, let's kind of begin to wrap up a bit. Anything else you want to show them? I think we just crushed local with the agent. What else do you want to show them?
So, I mean, honestly, guys, there's so much in here. Like I just showed you one workflow from auto, one workflow from the authority building, and one workflow from the GBP local agent. There are so many agents in here, right? Again, you can select the agent down here, Atlas Brain, Content Brain, Auto, Ads, Local, Authority Building, Site Explorer. Each agent
can you full
has
screen
its
that?
own, yeah, for sure. Each agent has its own playbook or series of playbooks that you could click into, you could review, you can say, okay, I want to run this competitive gap attack. What is the competitive gap attack? Well, here's what the competitive gap attack is, right? So you can go in there and orchestrate it. You could build your own playbook, or you could just give it simple tasks for one-off things you wanted to execute for you. So you can do a full playbook, a custom playbook, or just one specific task that you want. Just make sure that you have your project selected and that you have the right agent in here that you want to be using. If you give an agent a command, for example, if you're accidentally in Content Brain and you say, I want to go build a guest post, the Content Brain is going to tell you that it can't do that, but it's going to tell you that the authority agent can do that, right? So just be mindful of how you're shifting between agents to ensure that you're selecting the right agent for the right action. It's okay if you select the wrong one because the agent will tell you what it can and can't do and what agent can help you with what you're looking for. So
fantastic. And Arman, we got a question from Barry Belford. When do we get access to the brains? Right now, Barry, it's live.
Right now,
just show them
log in, go in.
Get in there.
Yeah, so when you log in, you'll probably look at a screen like this. That's classic mode. If you click the agent hub, you'll get the new dashboard. But at the top right, you're always going to see Atlas Brain right here. And you just click Atlas Brain, and then it'll open up your hub and your project selector. And if you don't see your project in here, just click Add New Project, paste in your website, and add that project, and you're off to the races.
Now, guys, I don't know why Arman's screen's getting cut off a little bit, but if you jump in, you'll see it. It's all in there. And every day when we do these launches, whatever we're launching is going to be live in the platform for you guys to play with. So you'll be able to use everything we're demoing and showing you guys every single day, okay?
Exactly.
All right. Sweet. Well, Arman, anything else or should we pause there?
I think we could pause there. I mean, we have 12 days of this. We can't give away everything on day one, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and there is so much more. I mean, can you believe this is day 1 of 12? There's 11 more days. So it's a lot. Let me close this out here and let's talk about what's to come. Arman, thank you so much for that walkthrough. And before we wrap up, I want to say one more thing. If you guys haven't seen me on a lot of live streams recently, it's not because we slowed down, as you can probably tell. It's because we went heads down building all this. For the last 6 months, my team and I have been working on this day and night. Nights, weekends, hundreds of collective all-nighters. More than 90 engineers, designers, data scientists, product managers, and QAs working in the lab testing, breaking things and rebuilding them to try to make them better, to push the limits of what this platform can do. And we are not done. This is the beginning. This is what building at the edge looks like: quiet work, relentless iteration, and a refusal to accept good enough. So Search Atlas feels different right now. That's why. And while we're doing the 12 days of Search Atlas, we didn't want this to just be announcements. As we mentioned before, we want it to be something that you could actually experience and work with us on. And that's why today, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, we're kicking off the AI Search Summit. Live sessions every day this week, and they're completely free to join. We'll be going deep into AI search, LLM visibility, and execution workflows, and how all of this changes how marketing is actually going to get done. If you're building, if you're running campaigns, or if you're scaling an agency, I really want to see you there. Okay? And tomorrow, we'll be back right here, same time, same place. Find us on YouTube to introduce us to another huge product drop. This was day one of the 12 days of Search Atlas, a little festive, a little wild, and a lot of work wrapped up as a gift for you guys. And from all of us at Search Atlas, happy holidays. And if you're ready to step into the new agentic era of SEO and marketing, create a free Search Atlas account today and get a free trial going for yourself. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Hasta mañana. Peace.